I wanted to take a minute. All right, I just got done meeting with some coaches talking about defensive game planning and how to use some data. And I wanted to share with you some things that I think will help you out. They were like, "Coach, man, you got to put this on your YouTube channel." Well, we didn't record it. We met, and YouTube probably wouldn't let us put a 2 day retreat video on. But I wanted to just give you a short, quick synopsis on how you can use data to be more prepared on defense. And I had an opportunity in my coaching career to be an offensive coordinator, a defensive coordinator, a special teams coordinator, to coach at both the high school and college level. And I can tell you that working with these guys, one of them loved data, but he wasn't sure how to use it, and he was a little bit overwhelmed. First time DC. Another one was a guy with experience, been in DC a long time, but he never used data. And when he added me to their account to watch video and kind of see some of the stuff they were doing, there was very little data entered. And I asked him why, and he said, "Well, just never really used it. I do everything by hand." And when we got done, he's like, "We would have won. We would have won 3 more games last year. We wouldn't have got knocked out in the 4th round of the playoffs." And this guy's the ball coach now, but he hadn't used data. All right, he did things by pen and paper and just didn't have a lot of information. And I'm telling you guys, there's so much out there now, it can be overwhelming. But I'm going to show you a couple things that can break it down simple. Like this video, subscribe, and that way you'll get notified when I put new stuff out. I'm trying to put more stuff out that's beneficial for coaches. All right, let's get into this. So defensively, when I was defense coordinator, we had one goal: get the ball back. That was it. Win the game, get the ball back. All right, game goal win this series, get the ball back. And there's 4 ways you get the ball back. Number 1, they score. Number 2, turnover on downs. Number 3, they punt. Number 4, we take it away. I like number 4 the best. All right, we take it away. We want to take the football away. If they score, that's a bad deal. Turnover on downs, they probably move the football. We don't have great field position. If they punt, it's good. Maybe we got a 3 and out, but there's still going to be a big old change of yards unless we block the punt. And then the 4th way, we take it away, and that's the best way. I want to know what the offense is going to do before they do it. All right. And that's why this is so important. I want to help our kids play fast by being able to give them a couple of just simple tendency things that they can have in their brain. I want to be more efficient in practice, and I don't want to waste a lot of time. All right. And some of the stuff I'm going to show you saved us hours. All right. So we need to stop who and what. Who's their dude and what do they do? All right. Who's their dude and what do they do? We got to stop those 2 things. I want to know, what do they do and what do they do it from? All right. And then where do they do it? And then who do they do it with? Got to know those things. All right. I want to take away their best guy and I want to take away their identity. So what do we label? Down distance, hash yard line, play type, result, gain, loss, all that has to be labeled. From there, the data that I want to be able to put with that. Personnel, I want to know the personnel groups, formations, motions, play name, front, coverage. Why do I want to know front and coverage if I'm a defense coordinator? I want to know if they struggle, because we're a multiple front defense. I want to know if they struggle against an even front. I want to know if they struggle against a bare front or an odd front. I want to know if they struggle against quarters coverage. I want to know, what do they have the most success against and least success against? And then score differential. I want to label that. I add a column. We're going to do score differential, plus or minus. Once it gets to plus 29, all data is out starting in the second half. All right, all data is out. And then anything where they're behind by more than 29, that data's out. All right, as I get into the 4th quarter, I might say, man, if they're down more than 14, we're not going to include that data. Why? Because they're probably going to throw the ball a lot more. All right, so let's look at some tendency data. We're going to look at tendencies based on formations, run pass percentage by down distance, field zone, formation, backfield, set, personnel group, formations by personnel group, and then the Big 12. I'll talk about that in a second. If I know that in this situation, this down and distance situation, they are, 80-20 run pass, that helps me be able to call a better defense. If I know that they're 80% pass in this, and this is the pass that they call, I can call a much better defense. So we're going to use this tendency data. What are we looking for? I want to know about formations. I want to look at either or. If they're in this formation, is it this or this? A lot of teams, when they get in a formation, a certain formation, it's this or this. If the backfield's here, it's this or this. Field boundary tendency. Are they a field team? All right. When do they put the formation into the boundary? Do they tend to work strong side or weak side? What are their personnel tendencies? Where do they set protections? Once I get this information, it helps me be able to call a really good game. All right. Now, what's the Big 12? All right. When I talk about the Big 12, most teams can be broken down into about 8 to 14 play calls that are going to count for about 90% of their offense. When I talk about a call, I'm saying formation, motion, play. I write 42 ISO. That's a format. I write zip 42 ISO. That's a full thing. All right. Once I do that, once I get that listing, I can kind of break this down a little bit further. No, these are the 12 things they're going to call, because you're going to have a scout book. And your scout book, you're going to take that book out on the field. And if you're like most of us, you're going to have 400 pages. The wind's going to blow. The pages by Wednesday, or if not Monday, they're ripped out. It's all messed up. All right. I want an efficient scout book. We can't prepare for everything they do. I want to prepare what they want to do, what they're going to do most. That's going to help us be efficient. Because if you ever gone through your week of preparation, you go into a game and you say, man, we spent so much time on this and they didn't even run it. We don't want to waste that time. This is what the Big 12 looks like based on frequency. You can see this team 24% of the time stretched to the field. 1 out of every 4 plays. So in our scout book, 1 out of every 4 plays is going to be stretched to the field. All right. I mean, that's what we're going to put in our scout book. So we may have, stretch to the right, stretch to the left. And then we're going to move the ball. I'm going to put the ball on hashes. We may not move it up and down the field, but we're going to move it on hashes. All right. 15% of their offense was tunnel screen and GT. So right there, but just between those two things, I've got half of their offense. So that's what half of our team time needs to be spent on. That's what our individual time needs to be spent on. We're going to have a period for a 5-minute period, 2 days for exotics. We're going to mix an exotic team. We're going to mix a double pass into 7-on-7, little things like that. All right. We're going to take all this data and we're going to build our scouting report. Down in the links, I've got a link if you're interested into all of our scouting stuff that I've made available. It's fully editable and customizable. All right. All the documents, everything there. You can edit it, practice plans, call sheet for games, personnel, everything. Coaching responsibilities, really important. All right. This is an example of what the personnel sheet looks like. It's an Excel document. We're going to have all the starters listed, and we're going to put some strengths and weaknesses. All right. These are some checklists we go through. I tend to go through these myself because the coaches are, they're teaching a bunch of classes. And then we're going to share this information. When you game plan for someone, focus on their identity. Who are they? What do they love to do? All right. Stop what they love and stop who they love. Stop the plays they want to run, their identity concepts, and then stop the dude they want to get the ball to. All right. I'm a better defensive coordinator when I know what the offense is going to do. We define a tendency as something that is 65% or more. All right. 64% and below becomes a chance. One year we played a team that 85% screen, 2nd and 10 to 14. All right. If they were on the hash, 2nd and 10, or it was really 10 or more. If they were on the hash, it was going to be tunnel to the field. If they were in the middle of the field, it was going to be running back slip screen to whatever side the back was set. We picked 3 screens off that week. All right. We won that football game because we scored on defense. All right. We ended up scoring more points on defense than we did on offense that week. You are allowed to score on defense, by the way. So this is what the data looks like. So we enter all that data, and this is what we get out of it. And you can have this. Everybody's like, whoa, that's pretty. Yeah, you can have it too. And I'm going to show you this live in a minute. You see the logo down at the bottom right. It's Recon Sports. Danny Davis, a field artillery officer, just got done, went to the military academy, West Point, went there to play football. Danny's phenomenal, one of the smartest guys I met. Got hooked up with him a few years ago, and he asked us to test this as he built it. It made us better. It made us a lot better, and now he started making this available to coaches. But this gives you an example, all right? And I'll show you live in a minute. This is from a 3-game scouting report, all right? 192 offensive plays, 64% run, 35% pass. Average gain was 7.9 yards, 32% conversion rate, meaning 32% of those snaps resulted in a first down or touchdown. On the left is some information, some data we have on down and distance tendencies. Their run pass percentages based on down and distance. In the middle, down and distance tendencies based on backfield set. Really important. When they're in the pistol, 68% run, but when they offset the back to the right, they're only 44% run. Well, that's a difference. All right. That's a difference. They become much more balanced. That's something we need to know. And then we can look at field zone tendencies. Really important. We can see how many times they were in each field zone and then the run pass percentage. We can look at play frequency. Play frequency for the pass game on the left, run game on the right. Well, I can see right here that they're an inside zone team. They run it, that axe and hammer inside zone, bread and butter's counter. I can see that they are an inside zone team and a counter team. They're less outside zone than inside zone. All right. And then as we break that down further with backfield set, kind of answer some of those questions. When you look at play frequency for the pass game, you can see they are, they run 4 verticals or, a him ball on a go route. That is the predominantly the majority of their pass game. That's something we want to know. All right, before I get into this, let me jump over and just get live in a recon. I want to show you what your data looks like when you pull it up. All right, so this is the run pass ratio dashboard. So you can see right now, all right, we're looking at, and I'm going to go back up to backfield. All right, based on, this is what you saw a few minutes ago. Based on backfield set, we have run pass percentages. Now I can click on this and I can go to motions. And now I click motion and this data repopulates. So now I know what counted distances they use motion and then what they do out of it. All right, big first down motion team. When they use, now look here for each motion. What do you notice about these across motions? Very heavy run. All right, very heavy run, except X across. Oh, okay. So when it's X across, that helps me know how are we going to adjust to different motions. What's our rotation going to be? Are we bumping backs? Are we not? Are we staying base? Are we rotating? Are we bringing someone? Because now I have this really pretty data. Now there's something down in the bottom right here that Danny did that's really cool. What this does is this tells us where the ball goes. When you start to see these lines get to the outside of this shape here, you can see this is a team that is field and strong side heavy. That lets me know where the ball tends to go. I can say, if I want to know their play frequency, I can click on offensive play and I can see what play calls they use the most. We're not going to spend a lot of time down here. All right, we're going to spend our time up here. This is where we're going to spend the majority of our time. But then I can click on these and see what down and distance situations they're calling these and what field zones. All right, so this gives you an idea here of, and again, you can see with inside zone, they tend to run it to the strong side. All right, they tend to run strong side. They tend to run it field. Now we see those numbers move in a little more balanced here. If I want to look at pass game, I can click on a little pass game. You see we got have these different dashboards. And now I can see that they had a 60% completion ratio. Average gain was 9.6. And I can see what they did from each hash. And then I can go down and look at each backfield set. All right. And see what they did within the pass game. And of course, I can break these down further and look at what they did motion wise. When they use motion, where does the ball tend to go? I'm going to go back up to backfield. I'm going to tell you right now, when they're on the right hash, they don't throw balls into the boundary flat. So we're probably not going to worry about having an overhang there. We're going to rotate our coverage to the field. All right. So again, really interesting, simple data that we have. We didn't have to do anything. All right. Whoop, I'm going to go on the run game. I'm not going to show you this one. Let me click run game here. Now we can look at all the run game data. All right. When they're in the pistol, what do? Well, I'm going to click pistol and I'm going to see. Here's what they run from pistol. All right. When the back is offset, what do they do in the run game? Well, now when the back's offset, we're going to get more outside zone. All right. Back's in the pistol, we're going to get inside run. Well, that's great to know because that's going to help me make a call. All right. So I wanted to show that to you. And I've got Danny. Danny's just getting this thing going. He's got some schools that have been using to test it out. They love it. It's really, really, really inexpensive, but it gives you that data. All you're going to do is take the data you're already entering, you're going to upload it, and it's awesome. And he's also got a deal called Recon Assist, where if your coaches are already entering the data, it's going to take it to a whole nother level, especially your formation data and what he's got developing there. Follow me on Twitter. All right. Follow me on Twitter. We talk a lot of football there. I'll follow you back. And if I don't, give me a shout out that I need to follow you back. And if there's ever anything I can do, please let me know. I wish you the best. Like this video, subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be continuing again to put stuff out that I hope will help you. And I hope this gave you some information that you can actually use as you prepare for this season, help you be a little more effective on defense and be able to dominate some people. I wish you the best.